Thanos will be back to face Dr. Doom.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
One of the most dangerous villains in Marvel history is undoubtedly Thanos, the Mad Titan. This character wiped out half of life in the universe in an attempt to save the future of existence itself. For some, Thanos is a villain without any positive qualities. But perhaps in the Mad Titan could be found the last hope, as perhaps Thanos must return to face a new version of Dr. Doom. Now that the Iron Man actor is back in this universe, perhaps we will see his arch-enemy become the last hope of the universe. In this video, we'll be talking about how Thanos could return in the future. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Before starting this video, I invite you to participate in the new giveaway we will be having in this channel, where we will be giving away the first volume of Scarlet Witch by Steve Orlando, a story that will mark the future of the Marvel Universe. To participate, all you have to do is comment which is your favorite moment of the Marvel Universe. The winner will be announced on November 30th. To understand why Thanos will return in this story, we must start at the beginning. Thanos, despite being portrayed as the villain in Infinity War and Endgame, is a complex character with deep and often ambiguous motivations. His goal, as he explains it, is to ensure the survival of the universe by eliminating half of its population. This idea arises after seeing how his home planet, Titan, was destroyed by overpopulation and resource depletion. Although his methods are undoubtedly cruel and his vision is problematic, his ultimate goal is not selfish. In fact, he is willing to sacrifice everything to achieve it, including his own daughter, Gamora. Although Thanos was eventually defeated by the Avengers, we know that other versions of the Mad Titan exist in different universes. Just as we are seeing a new version of Dr. Doom with the same face as Iron Man, it is likely that other versions of Thanos also exist in that universe. We still don't know for sure what the origin universe of the new Dr. Doom will be, but everything points to it being the same universe as the Fantastic Four, and that we will begin to see events where the universes will start to collide. In Marvel's Secret Wars comics, an event occurs that brings multiple universes into a struggle for survival, where each world fights to not be eliminated in the collapse of the multiverse. This new version of Dr. Doom, who in his universe could be a variant of Tony Stark, discovers that the 616 universe, the home of the Avengers, could be responsible for the destruction of his own world, or is on his way to being so. This leads him to make a drastic decision, not only to stop the Avengers, but to eliminate the threat from his universe and other universes. But what if this Doom is not the typical villain? Perhaps, in his universe, he is seen as the necessary hero, someone willing to make any sacrifice to protect his people and his reality, even if that means taking on other heroes. We would be seeing a fascinating conflict here where Doom is not a villain in the classic sense, but a protector of his world, in the style of an anti-hero who justifies his actions for the greater good. And of course, it wouldn't be the first time Marvel shows us how a hero can become a villain, when his decisions lead to a point of no return. In this story, we could see how the concept of hero and villain becomes relative, and how a character like Doom, from his perspective, sees the Avengers as the real threat that must be eliminated to save his world. However, the destruction of other universes will lead this Dr. Doom to become a great cosmic threat. And obviously, he will attract the attention of characters like Thanos, who in that universe is still alive. Let's remember that in the universe where Dr. Doom is, as far as we know, the Avengers do not exist and have not faced Thanos. This means it is possible that this version of Thanos realizes that Doom is destroying universes and disagrees and decides to join the new Avengers. For a long time, there has been speculation about how a new Avengers team could be formed, especially now that the team has lost much of its strength over time. Perhaps we're already seeing the first hints in the Deadpool movie, where the darker Wolverine teams up with the more dangerous Deadpool. Maybe what we need is a team made up of the worst versions of our favorite heroes from each universe. A group that, through their sacrifice, can redeem themselves and transform from the worst Avengers into the best.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
If these new Avengers are the darkest versions of themselves, we could say that the Scarlet Witch of the Marvel Universe is the worst version of herself. Not only did she end the lives of civilians, but she also threatened the existence of her own teammates and multiple universes. This version of Wanda could represent the Scarlet Witch at her darkest. One that over time becomes the heroine that is really needed in this new Avengers team. So we could see the darker versions of the Avengers take on the worst version of Tony Stark. A pretty dark ending, but maybe that's the reboot this universe needs. And this is where Thanos could play a pivotal role in this story. Not the version of Thanos we saw in Endgame, but his best version, a scientist determined to protect all universes. This would lead us to a confrontation that would change everything, where the Avengers, along with Thanos, face a version of Tony Stark capable of endangering the existence of the entire Marvel Universe. According to the latest news, we know that Marvel is currently planning to close the multiverse saga to move on to new stages of production. But a rematch between Tony and Thanos, even if they are different versions in different universes, could be something all of us fans are waiting for. Perhaps, instead of that iconic scene where Tony sacrifices himself by saying, "I am Iron Man," we could see Thanos saying, "I am Thanos," as he ends Dr. Doom's life. If this does happen, remember where you heard it first. Now, if we are really going to see the worst version of each of the Avengers united to fight Dr. Doom, this begs the question: what kind of Captain America could be considered the worst? What sacrifices will have scarred him? Perhaps we will see a Steve Rogers who made shady decisions and lost his sense of justice along the way. And how about a Doctor Strange who, like in the Multiverse of Madness, lost everything in his quest for power by joining this dark team as well? We know that the next series in development for Disney Plus is Vision Quest. And rumors indicate that we could see a Vision dominated by Ultron, turned into the darkest version of himself. This Vision, stripped of his will and under the total control of Ultron, would be an unprecedented threat, carrying out orders without any empathy or morals. Still, there is a chance that this Vision may regain a trace of his humanity, perhaps thanks to his son Billy, who could help him find his way back to good. However, even with his redemption, it is likely that no Avengers team would be willing to accept him, due to his background as a weapon of destruction. In the end, Vision might find his place solely in a team of anti-Avengers, where the worst versions of the multiverse's heroes also seek redemption, each carrying their own demons, united to face a greater threat. The most dangerous version of Dr. Doom, an alternate Tony Stark who represents everything dark and destructive about a hero who was once the symbol of Marvel. This Stark, turned into the worst villain the universe has ever seen, would embody the flip side of everything the Avengers stood for, leading them to fight the most important battle in existence. Perhaps all of these Avengers will have to sacrifice everything to redeem themselves and make amends for the mistakes of their past. Now, in the comics, Dr. Doom ended the life of Thanos by taking the skeleton of his body, being one of the most shocking scenes. And if this happens with that version of Tony Stark, perhaps it will show how powerful this Dr. Doom is. A doctor capable of ending a Thanos so easily, it would bring any universe to its knees. But tell me, what do you think of this theory? Will Thanos return to face the new Dr. Doom? Share your opinion in the comments. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You're on. The Oasis Geek.